There we go.
There we go. All right. This is Greg and Ashley coming to you live from somewhere in Iowa outside of a cornfield. How's that? And for all you, for all you guys listening on like Podbean and Spotify and iHeartRadio, when you hear this, because I put the audio up, a lot of times we're commenting, we're simply responding to the answers that are the questions. That are brought up to us in the chat. So hopefully that helps out. Alrighty, so
with that being
said, yeah, we are unlicensed, right, Charles? And don't take us serious, man. We're gonna help you keep your addiction. That's because that's what we want to do. We want you to keep gaming. We're not gonna be sitting here going, oh no, you can't game. You're gonna spend money. Well, you're gonna spend money anyway. So what difference does it make? May as well have some fun with it, right, Charles? Right? Some good breakfast. Some food, some coffee, some gaming. Yeah, you really can't lose on that one too much. So, pardon me, I was having to clean my glasses that I use for the...
I'm trying to get it over to...
What are you doing over there, Ash? Oh, Ashley is sending out a few things there. And we will be good to go. Or we are good to go.
Yeah.
So, what are you up to, Charles? You're always early. We appreciate that. Thank you, sir. You can see behind us
the start of
this put together of Ash. Might want to close our closet so everybody doesn't see all of our crap.
Games.
Yeah, there you go. See that? That's technology. These bricks, they fold. Yeah, it's a foldable brick wall. So, but yeah, there you go. There's Ashley's Tyranids out there.
500 points.
Yeah. Hello, Mythos. By the way, Mythos does have a shop with a really cool mug. You can find it under any of his videos. You just got to go look at his videos. So check out Frosted Fist. And if you haven't joined him, join him or subscribe or follow. Because good people and good mugs. Thank you, Mythos, for being here. And Ashley said you just gave us a shout out, so we thank you. So
his birthday present came in.
I did get my birthday gift. Ashley ordered me Mythos. Lucky. Now, which way to build it? And if I can, is it able to be magnetized? So I don't know. We'll see if we can. I got mini magnets. I'm gonna see if I can make multiple attachments, but it looks like it's the way the arms are built. I don't know. I might not be able to. Not that Games Workshop would design something so you couldn't use magnets and you'd have to buy 2 copies. Yeah. So I didn't know she had ordered that for me, so that's pretty nice.
That's the whole point of a birthday present.
And
you don't know what you get.
My hair's
it's sticking up.
I know. It's getting long again.
Well, it's been almost a month.
So I gotta get another haircut. Anyhow, we're getting this table set up. We're gonna add another table,
and we have 2 more of the brown or gray box or platforms. So we got
terrain boards,
yeah, the boards. We got some of our terrain that we've painted up here.
This is older terrain from.
That was from the no, you bought that one directly.
Yeah, I bought these. Were like looks like
a broken
Citadel or something.
Something like that. So
Charles says at his age, you get what you want if you buy it yourself, and makes you broke, but it won't stop me. Well, you may as well. I mean, like my theory is, I'm gonna be broke. Okay, then I'm gonna reward myself here or there. I don't want to just work and die paying bills.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Mythos, is depending on how it's built, we might be able to shave enough of it off to slide a magnet into it.
No, he's talking about my hair. Shave it off like him.
Oh.
Bald. Want to be bald? I can try that.
I thought we were talking about the model.
No, ding dong.
Wow.
I actually wasn't paying attention.
No.
Yeah, usually I try to get it cut every month. Otherwise, it'll start looking moppy. But no, you don't want to let things stop you. So we certainly don't try to do that. Where's the mouse? Right here. But anyways, we're gonna try her Tyranids against the Space Marines, and I don't know why you want to do the 1-page rules. You said, right?
We could try that.
Try a couple rounds, see how it goes. But you're not gonna have any of your abilities.
Okay.
So
my guys have either guns or claws. I don't have any special abilities on any of them. I don't believe.
Oh, I bet you do.
Not the ones I picked. I don't believe.
She was pondering going through making up 500 points. So I said, even with trying the 1-page rules, just set like a point. And so 500 points should be enough to try those out. But I just did kind of sort of get down all, enough rules to play with 10th edition. So we'll see. I think we're stopping at 10th edition, no Mythos, and kind of just staying with that. I don't, unless they don't release one, for a very long time. But otherwise, they release it pretty quick.
I have Feeding Frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy?
Yeah, basically each time the model makes a melee attack that targets a unit that is below, at a target's unit that is below its starting strength, add 1 to the hit roll. If the target is below half strength, add 1 to the wounds as well.
Well, either way,
they can move an extra 9 inches. Shoot.
Mini Warmutt's Cup too. Oh, so you guys, it's been a good week. I finished up Charles and Mythos. Finished up the trench knife game. You have up to 30 rounds. It only took 15 playing it through. So I didn't just fast forward it. I played it through. It didn't go much further. Well, you'd have to watch the video to see why, but you'll see why. One side just got pretty much hammered. So depends. That game's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting.
What are we talking about? Trench knife?
Yeah, and just a lot more in depth. What is up there flashing?
It's either out of paper or probably out of ink. Because I just did those 2 pictures I printed for your birthday for the kids.
Huh? Oh.
So it might be out of ink.
It's up there flashing. Sorry, the printer's above us here on the shelf. I'm like, why is the thing flashing?
It's probably out of ink. That was a lot of ink it took to print those.
But we'll see how that goes. So we're getting that table kind of set up. I just gotta. It's an excuse too to.
Can I start building him?
Huh? What? You want to build him? But he hasn't. You don't paint stuff on the sprue. Oh, you want to build it and then paint it?
Well, I am the painter to go and paint Warhammer. You do the war stuff. Give me fantasy. And at least he'll make it look good. Every time she has to pick on me. Every time. Of course.
So I don't know. I don't even know which way I should try to build it.
Well, that's why I said figure up and see where we get, because it's going to be the same until you get to the arms. At least that's what it looked like. Where's the book? Come here.
So Charles, you can shave your head. That grows back. You don't want to shave your beard. I don't blame you.
He won't go any shorter than that.
Mine starts throwing the shade off too, depending on how I'm sitting. So it I don't know. I don't like it too burly, but
no, I don't want it too burly.
No, it's not. It's not even what you want, because it's my beard. Dang it!
I have to look at you.
That's okay. I have to live with myself. But anyways, it's I kind of don't like it when it gets too long. It gets in the way, or wants to catch food, or and so I don't like mine very long. But I keep it enough that it keeps my face warm in the winter. Autocannons are the way to go. So autocannons, Mythos said.
Are those the 2 gun ones?
Where was the card you found for them?
Right here. But that's not going to show a picture.
No, but it tells you got. Okay, so you got the twin Iron Hail autocannon, twin linked, which is 48 inches. That's a pretty long reach. Attack of 3.
Well, you can't put the bolt pistol.
But a strength of 9, which is nice, and a -1 on the armor.
It's different legs depending on
damage of 3. Wow, Mythos, you could get 9 damage on that. Fire a nose. Is that the
one you're gonna want?
Or what's the difference? The twin Iron Hail heavy stubber. That is less distance, less strength, no negative. It's less.
Autocannons are awesome.
It's just less of everything. The autocannons. Hey, Walkabout. So I was looking at the card.
Yeah, Greg's birthday present. So the dual gun. Okay. So you want to go off of Mythos's suggestion?
This on one side, the twin iron.
Because these clamp around the arm.
See, it's this one. That's, to me, the most deadliest one. But then the Insidium cannon up close for bugs. Boy, that is close, 12 inches.
No, you don't need that.
A D6 plus 3. -1 armor, damage of 1. It auto hits then, right? Yeah. Ballistic skill 9.
Damn it.
What are we building? So behind us, Sindri, there is a bunch of Tyranids. You can grab some, like one of those there, Ashley. Oh my God. So this sir is one of her
bugs
Tyranids that she's printed up and painted. Not very good lighting right up by the camera. So
turn the light on above you, goofball.
I could.
Dude.
No, looks like lighting.
Blinding.
So he's kind of a mean one.
That's the screamer killer.
So we're setting up back there. Those are boards, plywood boards that have been plastered and then painted, and so there's terrain. And if you look in the very back, right about there behind this guy, you can see the trenches in that. So what we're building is just setting up a table to do some Warhammer 40K, but we're gonna try it with the 1-page rules. So yeah, we're just started setting it up, and then that way she can play her Tyranids and I play the Space Marine. So we'll go ahead and do that there, Sindri. That's what we're getting ready to do.
I'm gonna build.
Walkabout says, "Nice big bug." Yeah, it's too bad that the Space Marines didn't have giant cans of Raid.
Hey now, watch it.
Mizo says the bug looks awesome, Ashley, and Charles says he cleared his back table. Nice. You got Native Americans versus cowboys, so cowboys and Indians, headless horsemen, and townfolk and monsters. Well, that's a combo, Charles. Do you got different stats for each one of those? If you do, very cool. We'd like to see how your game ends up, and then let everybody know what are you doing with the glue? There's not much in there. Are you gonna start building that right now?
Damn right.
She's gonna start trying to build it right now.
What are you talking about? I don't have enough glue.
Oh, it's full. So here, where's the box now? Sindri, I know you're new here. I appreciate you stopping by. So this is what I got for my birthday. Was
because his wife for some reason loves him.
Invictor warsuit, tactical warsuit. So
no, it gives me a reason. I have a Harpy waiting to be printed. I just don't have any rubbing alcohol to clean it once it's done. So I had to give him something that stood a chance.
She's waiting to. Is that
48 inches? It can shoot.
Oh wow! For a bug?
For a flyer, he's like a dragon.
Oh,
with a cannon mouth.
Alrighty then. So now I see why she got it. So she doesn't feel bad if she crushes me in a fight.
My model was free.
True. Yeah, the Headless Horseman in Town Folk. That would be interesting. With a random monster showing up, Charles. Yeah, I know. Walkabout. It's called a melt-a-gun. But I mean, it would just be funny if I could find something that's sizable that I could put the words on there, raid, and then march them down the field. I think that'd be funny.
So I can do that. I can find a tubular little piece and make them for you. If anything, we have all this extra sprue. I can sand it and I'll make you a little one if you want to put it on one of your models.
I don't know. This light's bright. It's good for painting, but so yeah, it should be interesting because we've never done the one-page rules.
Nope.
But we'll try a couple rounds and see, and then I did finish up that trench knife game Walkabout, played it through. It is interesting game, much more in depth than I thought. So I put that up. You can check that if you guys want to. I didn't just fast forward to the end. It's actually played through. It just didn't make it to 30 rounds. We made it halfway through, but I can see why it gives you 30 rounds because literally it's depends on how many action points you get in that game when you roll the dice. Is if you roll low, it's going to take you it would take twice as long to do what we did if we were rolling constantly 4 or something. If you roll the 1 or roll the 2, you just wouldn't have many action points when you add to it. Oh, cool. Walkabout. That's cool. Be careful on your walk home. Yeah, melted guns are nice. So it's been a while anyways, Mythos, since we drug out our Warhammer miniatures, and then after that we're going to do another.
He's been complaining he wants to get his snipers out too, so we have to figure out.
Well, I bought the snipers back in March, at March to Victory.
Who bought them?
Huh?
Who bought them?
I did.
No.
What's yours is mine. You say
no, that only works on the women.
You say it all the time to me.
That only works on the wives.
Oh. Okay.
Ask Mythos.
So, yeah. So, gentlemen, I bought that figure. Standing on my own 2 feet. There you go. Anyways, you look tired. So I haven't had a chance to take them eliminators out and use them at all. So I may as well. But we'll see what happens here with this because we're going to bring another table in. I have an exact duplicate. That table is 4 foot by 4 foot on the nose, as you know, Mythos. And then, Mythos says, ask him what?
If Lily goes and says, what's yours is mine, what's mine is mine?
Oh, Ashley's always saying what's yours is mine and mine is yours. Or
no.
Unless I say it, then she says, no, it's only for the wives. But she's just giving me crap anyway. So
no, so basically I went and ordered what I thought was a legit area. It was a combat patrol for him, which ended up being a scam.
And that
so the money I went to do that, I told him pick something, and he found the snipers. So
yeah, you gotta watch some of them deals. I told Ash, I said, well,
it was a great price.
That was a great price, but it doesn't seem realistic for it to be at that price, although, sometimes you do run across it. Oh, well, yeah, Mythos agrees with you. Well, hello, Ledford. How are you doing, sir? I'm glad you could make it. We're just sitting back, chilling.
See, he says I'm right. It doesn't work for you.
That's what I just said to you. You didn't hear me, though. And I know why you didn't hear me. Because you're not listening.
You want
Shame
me
on you.
Not listen and cut my finger?
No, your finger will heal. I don't want you to.
Oh, you don't want me to screw up your model.
I want you to nick the model. I could fill it with resin filler and buff it out, but that's a lot of work, so just joking. We're doing okay, Ledford. So far, so good. If you wake up, I think you beat the day. So whatever else happens. But so far, so good. That table is going to try to, we are going to do like 500 points on our Warhammer guys, our armies. We're going to use the 1-page rules and try that just to try it. Then I want to get some more Alpha Strike in because people are actually asking us. And
yeah, because we can use the same board.
Yep. And I want to say thank you too. Now, if there's more of y'all here that last week when we had April Duncan on here from foodforfarmers.org. I want to say thank you guys for making her feel welcome and checking out what she's doing. It's a really good thing. If you guys could check it out all on your own, foodforfarmers.org. On our website, gamerswithcoffee.com, we have a charity page there. We're actively involved with them. They help coffee farmers, families in other countries who literally have a very hard time getting by. So I just want to say thank you. You guys made her feel at home. She had a good time. And she appreciates all the support. I've talked to her. So she's a good person trying to do a good thing. And
we got to help our fellow gamers anyway.
It's just, it's a good thing. Greg, you let Ashley have sharp objects. Well, sometimes, Charles.
You know what, Charles? I've built 95% of all our Warhammer stuff. And tanks.
The tanks she did. Well, to be fair, I started building once I showed her how to build stuff. Ashley just takes it upon herself to do it. You know what I mean? Because
I can build them faster.
She feels she can build them faster. But, it's good. She likes to do that, so it works.
Give me sharp objects. Bite me.
Yeah, sharp objects. Sharp objects are occasionally okay, as long as you cut. One thing that scares me, you guys.
I know, I cut towards me.
I've seen her cut towards herself, and I'm like, you get that cringy feeling, and you're like, no, you can't. Don't ever do that, people. Always away from yourself. Cut towards something other than yourself.
Nope.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. See how this week goes. What was I gonna say? I think Keegan will be on in a little bit, he said. And then once he's on, we'll go ahead and he can fill you in on some what happened with the Twilight 2000 RPG. We did start that, and Mythos here is involved in it. And Walkabout, we're brand new to that, sir. We're just noobs, noobs to the RPG thing. Well, I guess we role play every day in life, but gaming wise, it's one of those. Charles says, yeah, where were you when I was 10 or 11 and got the scar across the back of my hand because I was cutting the wrong way with my boys club scout knife? You're a scout. Ain't you a leader? You're a scout leader or master? What are you doing?
Back up a little bit.
What?
I have a scar. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. That I put a knife through here, and it came out there.
Yeah, but you were cutting an avocado.
Yes, I was.
And I told her, I said, don't be pushing through like that while you're holding it, to cut in and around the seed and right through into her hand. I'm like, I just told you not to do that, and you just stuck yourself. Oh, good afternoon, good fellows. Hey, thank you, sir, Mr. Axanix. David, how are you doing out there in wild Canada? Having a good time, I hope.
That don't make no freaking sense.
And you've got a really good channel, so if you guys are hanging out watching and don't know who he is, then go check out his channel too. Charles and Mythos and Axanix. Man, that's Ax. You got us into that challenge years ago, so that was how we met him. He challenged our channel, so it worked out real well. Now, poor David, he's kind of like one of the family. So he's kind of stuck with us like Mythos and a few of the others. So that's what happens when you adopt people, it all comes together. So he's a good guy. Which, by the way, David, You're a wild time up here, huh? Why does it say goat, turquoise, white horns? Is it supposed to have tried to put like an emoji or something through? But if you're having a time with goats with white horns and turquoise, then, well, that's probably a separate video you could put up. We'd check that out too, David. I don't know what to say to that. I think it was supposed to be an emoji, though. Ashley here, David is building an Invictor warsuit that she got me for my birthday. So give my Space Marines or Smurfs as she loves. Once somebody told her that they're referred to as Smurfs, I cannot get it down. Oh,
Mythos did.
Was it Mythos?
Mm-hmm.
Shame on you, Mythos. She watched a video where this lady did Mario, from Mario Kart.
I need to know one.
The lady did a Mario themed.
I don't know who I'll do it to. I need one now.
Tyrannid. And she's, oh, can I do that? And I'm like, no, because every time you wipe one of my guys out, you're going to be yelling, it's a me, Mario. And yeah. So, well, hold on, Nagawa. How are you, sir?
Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot about that.
I like David. Like, share, and subscribe for more turquoise white horn goats. All right. Anybody just coming through on the sentence I just said probably is going to be completely like, wait, what does that have to do with games? But yeah. So, and Nagawa here, he's got a really good channel too on World War One. So you guys should check him out there. Everyone calls Ultramarine Smurfs. I don't.
They are freaking Smurfs.
I do not call them Smurfs.
Smurf.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about Mythos. If she said it's your fault, it's your fault.
I think that's where I heard it from. It was his show.
She said
it might have been Al.
Yeah, the whole Space Marines are referred to as Smurfs. It might have been Al that said that, though. That is true. Anyways, Mythos, just roll with it. That's what I do. Like if it's me. Telemachus, greetings, though, people. Greetings back, sir. There's no snow here yet. Hopefully not for a while. Hope not.
Yeah, because I got to get under a car tomorrow. So hopefully not.
Nice return there, Mythos. So what are you up to out there, Telemachus? Telemachus here, he likes to just show up. He's got apparently some mansion, heated gaming chairs, and I think, those things you sit in and it just auto-rotates you back with the TV. It's probably how he's watching our show.
Hey, I want one of those for gaming. Those chairs, those things look cool.
So Nagawa says he's not doing bad. He signed up for Hissy Cat's postcards from the front contest.
Nice.
Nice. I'm not sure about how his contest is running. You have to look at the rules.
I don't understand that. Why does that keep coming off?
So we'll check that out. Yeah, if you want to watch the last trench knife video. Now, in all honesty, Nagawa, like I was letting Mythos know earlier, so you don't know how long it's going to take to play the game. You get up to 30 rounds. We did finish it in 15, legitimately. I just kept playing after round 10, but the tide turned pretty good too. So it depends on, how it goes. Depends on how you roll. So, but I can tell you what, I'll tell you right now, I can see where you could hit that 30 turn mark and call it what it is at that point. But yeah, I did that with a little bit of commentary. I was pretty tired doing it, so I apologize if I come across looking like tired. Oh wow, he's got a Pete Corvette. Nice. You're gluing miniatures to metal bases. That will work, sir. And Charles says, no snow in San Diego unless you go in the mountains. Yep. Yep. The mountains out there. Well, I'm sure, Charles, have you ever been up to Big Bear or Lake Arrowhead? Those are not too terribly far from you.
I'd say that'd be about a 2-hour drive for him. Minimum.
But
yeah. No, probably about 3.
It's funny because speaking of mountains, I just seen a video on TikTok the other day of someone going over a Cajon Pass, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, I drove that twice every day. Once in the morning, going to work, and once going back home because I lived in Victorville.
Yeah, what's funny is I got a video off of TikTok where a truck driver was driving and somehow didn't see a car going up that pass and was dragging the car on his trailer. It smashed the whole front end. The guy was okay because it got the passenger side, but
wow,
that would scare me all to hell. I don't like truck drivers. Not driving.
Oh, you mean you don't like trucks on the road,
no.
Right? Okay.
Because they don't pay attention.
See, Dave says your streaming computer decided to not want to compute no more, so you're setting up a new gaming console or computer. Hey, cool, David, because I know you had your streaming computer for a long time. I think ours is about I want to say 4 years old now, and we got it on sale like at Office Max, like a display model. It happened to be around income tax time, so we got it really cheap, and it's basically a bare bones, but it does this really well. If that's so. But at some point, if they all fail. Oh, Nagawa says you won it on the Not Jay show. Oh, gotta get it sold for next podcast on Wednesday. Next month, he's heading to the land of my youth. What's that? California? Are you heading out there, David? California. That's the only place I can say. Charles says he was working as a courier one of his 18 plus hours. Yeah. Going up and down over the Cajon Pass it's kind of daunting if you're not used to it.
That and dangerous.
Miso's not happy. He says his mom's a trucker. So you insulted him, Ashley?
Not in a bad way. The truckers out here don't pay attention.
Well, I think her frustration stems from she has to check them in and out of the plant where she does security work.
Those are just... Nope, I'm going to shut up.
So Talonica says, little pink Corvette, you need a love that's going to last. I think I remember a song that says that there. Oh, you're just putting a new video card in it? Well, there you go.
Yeah, we have to do that with our computer.
The one I'm using now at the graphics card, so let you have 2 monitors if you wanted. One side earlier in the year just quit working on that port, so tells me I need to replace the card because even though it's a desktop, it's a nice desktop that, like I said, nothing fancy, but it's quick and it does what I need it to do. So I'm not playing games on that. I can play the games on the laptop, has more power. But if you can rebuild it and make it work, then that's all you gotta do. I'm still using the mic I bought 6 years ago, man. When I started doing a lot of this 6-7 years ago, it's still sitting here just right up above me that you can't see. And still plugging away. I think the only thing I did is I added a set of expensive $30 speakers. That's it. But at least now it works where I'm not having to fight with it. What'd you say there? Oh, Tomica says your computer's 12 years old. The problem is you used to be able to upgrade them, but now technology leaping so fast that they're letting out so much so fast. Like whatever you buy right now, I don't care if it's the latest iPhone, whatever, it's already outdated. It's already no good. You're just buying something that they've already got replaced coming at you. So instead of trying to keep up with it, I just go with what hardware, what do you need spec wise to do stuff like the laptop. So we've been trying to do a little bit of Xbox Live stuff here and there too. People have asked. So if you didn't know if you got Xbox, at least I can only speak for Xbox Live, but if you got the monthly pass that you pay for, and for us it's on a computer, so it's $12.99 a month. It's not very much. And so we got Black Ops 6 that came out the day before. Download. I was up last night for a little bit and a little bit today, but you gotta make sure you got the specs to run those games. So for right now, we're okay, but it's not gonna last a whole lot longer, I think. Access a streaming computer is dead. The video card on it's probably fine. Yeah, if the computer went, the card's probably okay. And you're not sure how old your laptop is, Charles? Oh.
You don't remember how old it is? It's probably old.
Well, just Telemachus, I mean, if it doesn't take Windows 11, that's okay. They're still working the bugs out of Windows 11, and most everything's still operating off of Windows 10. And some of it's still off of earlier versions that's out there.
Well, the only reason I upgraded to the 11 was because the gaming stuff.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I upgraded my computer. But my computer's running just fine on 10.
Yeah. 10 was a good version. It was all right. And some of their versions, I know, were crud and some were not. But everybody wants you to upgrade everything all the time, just money. So if it says it won't upgrade, you're all right. Windows 10, perfectly good system. Charles says his laptop keeps asking about 11. No way whatsoever. Yeah, with more and more upgrades, I mean, what I don't like is there is no really other options. Do you know what I mean? You've got like Apple and Android, and you're just kind of stuck. And both of them are, you got some options for browsers, Firefox and some of these others, DuckDuckGo or whatever it is. But Chrome is pretty much invasive. So all these companies, they're making things that require you to have to use stuff that you really don't want to use. But Windows 95, yeah. You're back. Welcome back. Walk about. Nigo says he misses Windows 3.1. Yeah. I remember when I was in school, we had the Texas Instruments, the TI 99s, like the Commodore computer back in the day. And so at least in school, they taught you how to, you had to write out the code DOS for making it count, like 1 to 10 or something. Now nobody knows how to do any of that. They just swipe things with their finger. So I think it's easier today, but nobody really knows how it's working. Oh, your laptop you never turn on. It's a couple years old. You just hate it. So Telemachus, here's what we did. We got basically just a simple stripped down desktop that we got on sale or clearance at Office Max, I think it was, like a display model. That's what we use for right here that you see where we're just doing our show. And it only runs, it runs video. I just use it to edit the video. It's pretty quick on that and do our shows. Otherwise, I don't really use it. The laptop I bought for the portability so we could take our shows, on the road. Like a couple of years ago when I first went to March to Victory and whatnot, I wasn't sure what I was going to run into, so I took everything because I didn't know, what I was going to be able to do. And so now to go to different events and stuff, the laptop helps if you got a spot to sit. You can do your thing from there. But now what we're using it for is our Xbox, as you all know, is done and over with. And Greg and Ashley do not have $500 to go buy a new Xbox. So not right now. I gotta fix the car and do stuff like that. So what I do now is I got the laptop over here, and Ashley uses it to look things up, as you guys have seen. That's what she's looking up if someone says something, she starts to build a shopping cart over here.
Hey now.
So that one's,
and those shopping carts are still full.
That was funny. That one is what we use to game with. So it works out. Instead of having to buy an Xbox, just do it the PC version of it. DOS made Charles, he said. Yeah, it was interesting to learn. So the Linux operating system seemed like it could be dummy proof. I plan on testing it out as a daily driver. Linux has been around a long time, David, and it just was never mainstream adopted because I think, you got Windows and all the businesses jumped on Windows. Everything was geared to work towards one, but Linux is what the computer professors, and I've actually talked to guys who teach computer at the college and stuff. They would much rather have Linux than Windows on any given day, and that's what their systems run on. Windows 98 was a good version. Nagawa still uses his VIC-20 pimped out to 32K with 2 screens. Nice. Your laptop was $2,000 on sale. It's a good one. Just blah. Yeah. I mean, I get you, sir. I understand. But laptops, they do get expensive.
They can. I mean, our daughter-in-law just bought one for school, granted with financial aid, but it was like $1,800.
Yeah. Well, you could get a good the ASUS laptops called the ASUS Tough, so they're built to take a little bit of a beating.
They're designed for gaming.
Yeah, but I was looking at one the other day. It's got an i9 and all this other stuff in it, but it's about $1,600. But you're getting way more than what you even need to game with. So if you can get you get what you can afford there, Walkabout. That's what we did. I mean, you get a real good one, then it's going to last you a lot longer. And, you're looking at for your table, for your RPG games, that's cool. Charles says laptop, Facebook, and Excel, not much else. And the guy says, you're a spreadsheet sorcerer. Hey, some of them games are, spreadsheets help you. You think Chrome OS would be a great operating system alternative if it wasn't so hobbled? I don't know much about it. I just know that Google Chrome is what everybody goes to. But I'm just like many millions of others, not happy with. Obviously, there's a lot of things that, I just have to be a different show. But, don't necessarily care for Chrome. It's Google's it's on everything. I mean, it's taken over everything and it's in everything. So it's what they need is another person to come out with, or a company to come out with an operating system that's cleaner and not so invasive on you. And people would flock. I think they would flock to it, to be honest with you. But you just got to get what you can use. I mean, $2,000 for a laptop on sale means you got a good deal. If it was on sale, one we got for gaming was not, ended up just getting it from one of those well-known companies out there. DuckDuckGo, yep, that's a pretty good one. A lot of people like that. I will agree with you there, Mythos. All the other concerns aside, Google integration is really nice. That's why people like it. I mean, you go get a new phone, boom, everything gets transferred over. It goes to all your devices if you want, and it's very user friendly. So, with that said, I mean, it's a very good operating system in itself. Yep. David says all the schools now use the Chromebooks. Yes. Yep, those are pretty popular these days. Chromebooks are good for the students. I think they're not. Yeah, we looked into that I'm like, if I'm getting something that I got to do video streaming like this, and I might want to play a game, then I'm going to get a gaming laptop, because the gaming laptop is going to more than cover the needs for streaming, right? Whereas the other way around, You go get a business laptop. It's not necessarily geared to do things like what we're doing. It's more geared for like Zoom meetings or, Facebook meetings, stuff like that, Google Hangout, whatever. It's not really designed to do all these other things. I did a lot of looking, so I just decided best, we're gamers anyways, so I got a laptop that I can take and do podcasts with, video streaming with, video editing, and now I can use it as an Xbox, you know what I mean, to game with. So it was worth the money for me because this is what we do as a hobby, and it just integrated itself in pretty good. So now I can game with you guys if you want. I mean, so Gamers with Coffee has been on Xbox Live for quite some time. So if you want, you can say hi when we get on. I did have a Minecraft server I paid for, and that was pretty popular for a while. But then like anything else, people they'll start into something, they gun ho a couple months, and then they, so it kind of came to a standstill. But Minecraft was, a fun game to sit there and you could hang out and talk to people and help each other build things and whatnot. Charles says his spreadsheets he does now are mild-mannered compared to the ones when he had a real job in aerospace. Oh, yeah, I bet, because labor requirements, production, performance, tooling, budgets. More work than you had time for. I mean, it is insane how everything has to be allocated to something to the degree that it is today. Even at our work, because I'm managing an entire community, and I also do the maintenance, and I'm also in charge of the other maintenance guy. So we have, the name of the program is called Concur. So like I concur with you, that this is blah, blah, blah. And it's very in depth. It's like a bookkeeping, accounting thing. Every single little receipt, if you had 10 items and they went to 10 different lots or they're allocated out, it's its own thing. And when you say more work than you had the time for, Charles, is what I'm getting at is it's more work. So I completely get you there. I guess maybe that's why I don't do too much spreadsheets with gaming and stuff. Although you do a lot of games you would need it for, Charles. Ours are already pretty much everything's pre-done. So, but there we go. See, gamers need technology too, but technology works to keep us all hanging out together. And Telemachus, this question, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so you can just put your response in whenever. But I use DuckDuckGo a little bit. What do you think of it? Do you like it overall? I haven't used it for a little bit. I used it when it first came out, and all my work programs and everything dictate other usages. So, but for gaming, looking things up and getting things done, it seemed to be pretty good. And there is Keegan, who says, "What's up, my minions? Just sitting here chit-chatting, Keegan. I told them all when you came on a little bit, when you got home, if you want to chit-chat about Twilight 2000, the RPG we were doing, then I will put the link in there and you can jump on. So if you let me know." You're a DuckDuckGo guy yourself also. Nagawa. So yeah, you guys, we did start that Twilight 2000. It's been pretty interesting so far. Yeah, Walkabout, I'll agree with you right there. You and Keegan do need to talk. You have a ton of experience with that, Walkabout. So if you could help him out, since he's brand new to trying to run a game, Mythos has been helping him. I think if the rest of you guys who have all the experience, because RPGing for us is we're new to that type of gaming, so we're trying. Keegan says to give him a second, he'll hop on. He's making pizza bites. Right on.
Oh, not Brian, it's Keegan.
Well, that's okay. And well, welcome. Your seat at the table there. So he said, or she says, I own most of the original, the Twilight 2K, I think, right? Couldn't. All right. Well, right now, even though you're brand new here, your seat at the table, we are running a Twilight 2000 game. We just started last Thursday, and we have the technology to invite you in if you would like to get a character done. You could talk with Keegan down there. And you're welcome. If you're gaming and you already like the game, you can join in. We're just telling you, we're brand new to it. We got the 4th edition. And that other gentleman you saw, Walkabout Games, and Frost and Fist there are helping Keegan run the show, because most of our gaming is either miniatures or video games or things like that. So. Keegan says he needs to learn from a Twilight master. Oh, well, cool, David. You got a 32-inch TV from a gaming group. One of the participants works for a hotel, and they were tasked with getting these. Yeah, that's cool out here. When you're a free air conditioner, man, and there's really nothing wrong with it. They were just going to upgrade everything. And so they, need to just get a free air conditioner. Yeah, you got to upgrade your hobby space. And Keegan says to your seat at the table. Yep. Yeah, it's so far it's a fun game, and so your seat at the table. What he does is, well, you can check it out on our channel if you want and go look at it. It looks like the show, but then you'll see that he's got the maps up there, and you can move the markers around, so whoever is watching can get a good look at where each of us are on the map, what's ahead of us, what we're doing, as opposed to trying to just imagine it all. So it's working pretty good. But it is interesting. I mean, there's tons and tons of RPGs out there. I'm trying to think, Keegan. Oh, it was Cyberpunk that Clint was going to do. Cyberpunk RPG. Because remember that video game came out, people didn't realize that they had miniature game too, and they had the RPG. Hello, Mini Warmut. If you're driving home right now, since you can't be looking at the screen and driving, I'm drinking out of your cup today. I'm showing your cup and Mythos' cup off. Yes, both of them have nice merchandise, you guys. Go check out their links at their channels. You said Brian. Whoops, I mean Bark. Yeah. So it was fun. Your seat and Tomica says Google erased your reply about DuckDuckGo. Yeah. There's a big thing in court with all that, remember? So, competition's good. Got to have a little competition. Wow. Walkabout says he has his original box and books from '84. Second and third, it never happened. It was so bad. Really? Was it really bad? I mean, we got in on 4th edition, so I can't speak for the other editions. Keegan says he found an RPG based on Pacific Rim and Godzilla mixed together. One at a time, Keegan. One at a time. Let's work on Twilight 2000 and get that that RPG continuing, because we'll make it we're gonna do it, I guess, maybe every other week, so like 2 times a month, you guys. That way nobody's stuck, and they can work their schedules around it, and that way it keeps it active enough too. You don't say, Telemachus. I've never heard of such a thing. Yep, happens a lot, man. So Walkabout kind of answered our questionnaire because he said third was so bad. He said it 3 times. That means it was bad. We just started this one, so we'll have to see how this goes. Yeah, Keegan's talking about the Aliens RPG, but still, let's get this one going and on its course. DuckDuckGo search is fine. Browser needs work. You got the browser on your laptop. Yeah, on your Neanderthal machine. Yeah, here, hold on a minute. Walkabout would like to jump on. Any of you can really jump on if you'd like. This show's open. So I'm gonna stick the link in here, Walkabout. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Here, Walkabout, I just put it in the chat. That way it's there for you, Keegan, if you want, or anybody else wants to jump in there too. Except for Brian, who's driving, so.
I can still see him do it.
Yeah, Nagawa, any of you can jump on if you want. Nagawa likes the basic fantasy RPGs, kind of like the Linux for fantasy RPGs. You're going to hop on, Keegan, but don't put you on. I got you. You're going to hide back in the shadows and eat your pizza bites. All right.
There.
Yeah, I see him. It's all right, Keegan. You're not anywhere where they can hear you yet until I pull you forward, so. Yeah, Keegan. I am not putting you on yet, sir. Yeah, you're seeing at the table. Our discussions kind of bounce around a little bit like a pachinko game. I always refer to that because the ball goes everywhere. Never quite sure where it's going to roll down next, but it's always gaming related one way or another. Whether it's gaming and food, or gaming and movies that were turned into games, or RPGs, or whatever.
Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah. You don't have a playmat in greens and browns for forests, a sand color for western fronts. You guess you need to buy that. So, oh my God, I think it's Battlefront. Go to Gale Force 9. Go to Battlefront's website. I believe they have a neoprene, a really big neoprene mat. I believe it's 6x4. One side is like desert, and the other side is like forest. So it's one mat, and you're going to be able to flip it over. I think it's $90 or $100, but if it's neoprene and it's that big and it's double-sided, then you're getting your money worth out of it. Hold on just a second. A lot of your videos turn out that way. What do we have here? There is Walkabout.
Hello.
There you are, Walkabout. Come on in.
How's it going?
Not ready yet. He's not dressed yet, sir, so we're not going to bring him in.
No one wants to see that.
No one wants to see that, so get some clothes on.
Yeah, no. It's that's the pay-per-view side. But I think that would be a good map for you there, Charles, because you can look around and find quite a few. Etsy has cloth ones, might be able to store.
Well, if he's gonna do cloth, he can go up to Walmart or something and
get
cloth.
Yeah, you can get like a desert-looking cloth, we first started with buying square yards at the fabric store, and it looked just like the maps. So
I just bought a painter's drop cloth that was 6x9 and just painted it.
There you go. That would work too. There's all sorts of ways to do it. It just depends on, like these back here. These are boards I showed you guys before, I think. So they're 2x2 plywood, and then it's been like plaster, and then it's been looks like burnt scorched earth, and then been back brushed and all that. So they're pretty much, you can just set them on the table.
Did you buy those or did you win those?
No, we got those at a silent auction.
Oh yeah, Reese's.
Yeah. So it was at one of the March to Victory gaming conventions we went to. They had a silent auction. We walked. It's a good thing our rental car had a big trunk because Keegan bought quite a bit of stuff too. So
17, 18, 19,
yeah. So, Mr. Walkabout, you've been doing this RPG thing for a couple days now, it seems like. Right? So, if you could help Keegan out.
The best thing I can tell you guys is don't play it like a board game and don't play it like a miniatures game. I know that's really hard because you're used to those things, but what best way to have free-flowing RPG games, because it's storytelling, is that you just, what's the best way of putting this? Don't think of them as board games and miniatures games. Because if you don't have like a map or anything, you have to actually do what they call theater of the mind, which is you have to imagine the map kind of thing. You have to imagine what I can say to Keegan is this, is Keegan needs to, he's the person that's leading the story. He starts the story, and then you guys continue the story. Okay? And with Theater of the Broken Mind, yes, Telemachus, yes, that's exactly what it is. But the other thing that, like Keegan, I don't want the power to go to his head or anything, but basically he's the big G. He's God. Everything he says is what's going to happen kind of thing. Okay? And then you guys are guiding the story and telling the story. Okay? And with my players, I tell them right off the bat, you don't have to know every rule in the book. You just need to know the rules that apply to you. Like with Ashley's got a good shooting skill. I don't know her whole. What you're supposed to do at the beginning of a game is build your characters so that they're good at maybe not everything, but good at one thing. Like if you're a medic, get all the skills you can get that make you a better medic. If you know how to drive and you're a medic, that's even a better bonus. If you're good at shooting and you have a sniper rifle or some kind of long range rifle, buff up your skills on those things, but know how to drive or know how to recon or whatever, because you want your skills to benefit the group. So everybody's not going to know everything, but one person's going to be good at driving and mechanics. One person's going to be good at medic. One person's going to be good at scrounging, or one person's going to be good at shooting or close combat. And you want to build on those things from your initial skill sets. So if you got a really good scrounging skill set, get everything you can get with your experience that you get during the game to make you even better at that. So playing the game is you're working as a team, and because no one's going to have all the skill sets to do everything perfectly. So you definitely want somebody that's good at driving or mechanics, because a vehicle is important as you guys found out, because walking sucks in the game. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
so what I'm saying to everybody that's in new to RPG game, learn the rules that are pertaining to you. So if you're driving, look at the rules for driving. Okay? Because Keegan can't learn all the rules. That's what I tell myself as an RP, like a GM. I can't learn all the rules. So what I tell my players is learn the rules that are pertaining to your character. You as a character should know, hey, this is what I need to roll for when I'm trying to succeed in driving past some, wreckage or something like that. Or, those kind of things. Or this is what I need to snipe this guy, like calling your shot, that kind of thing. And then Keegan, because Keegan was saying that in the game you guys were playing that there's not enough rules in the Game Master's book. Well, all the rules that you need as a Game Master are in there, because your players are supposed to know the rules that pertain to them. Okay? Because it's already hard enough as a GM to keep the game going. And with the system that they have in the new 4th edition Twilight 2000, it's made it easier for Game Masters to do the game because of the cards system for encounters. He doesn't, like before in the old system or any other old role-playing game, you had to make the campaigns and make the maps and what was going to be the encounters and all this kind of stuff. You had to put a lot of work into it. It's less work now, but still work. But with my suggestion to Keegan is that he just keeps the story going. Keeps the, if you have an issue and you don't know where the rule is, move the game along by making some kind of die roll. Or like Ashley shot some guy in the head and you would think he would be dead. Well, it could have glanced him and incapacitated him or something like that. So I would just, if something's bogging down the story, move it along somehow.
So I got a question.
Sure.
Walkabout. So, for instance, when you did the one headshot and you roll the dice and then you go off of what the injury was, crushed windpipe. Rifle.
There would be no neck left.
You're not going to have anything. You're not going to have a crushed windpipe. So, and that's what he was kind of hung up on too, is the actual outcome for the damage that was dealt really didn't make sense. So, are you saying that he could go ahead and say, "Well, wait, you could roll the
he like for all purposes, he's God. He just, or some kind of deity. Don't care. What he says goes. So if a 50 cal round glanced, just skimmed, then maybe the person's still bleeding out or conscious or something like that. He probably wouldn't be able to do anything. He's in too much pain. But just move the story along. Just keep going.
Okay.
And your seat at the table, yes, you're correct that some people should have some of those skills as well. But if you get one person that's got really high, like it's based on letters now, because I don't know if you know this, but the letters represent the dice. And if you get somebody with the A, that person's good. And you want to keep that person good. You want to get them their bet. But if they know other skills, that's great too. Because at a certain point, you can only skill out so high, right? Then you work on other skills. Like what else am I kind of good at that I can improve? Okay, I can improve my driving. Let's go do that. It's not good to just, like, I wouldn't focus completely on anything, but if you got one skill that is really good, try to get it as best you can, because surviving in this game, it's crunchy. I've had players make a character one night and they're dead by the end of the night. Actually, some of them were dead within a half an hour of starting playing.
That almost happened to Mythos.
Yes.
He stepped out of the car and boom. But that's the one thing Mythos was bringing up there too. He made a pretty valid point. he agrees with you, and I agree with you on like allocating your whatever your experience is to your skill set. However, in this game, it kind of rolls in it. Depending on the role is what what happens. Because like me being as a medic, I did the best I could to take the numbers I had to move around to be more allocated to being a medic because I'm a medic. So
Yeah.
But he's making a point on that. When you roll, and then it tells you where it allocates your experience points or whatever it is to the skill.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little harder that way. To me, it'd be easier if they said,
well, did you guys do the life skill way of creating a character, or did you just do there's the 9 character development things that are in the front and you just picked one?
Whatever Keegan told us to do.
Ashley, yeah.
Because there's different ways of doing it, right?
Yeah, so when Keegan's done eating.
Yeah.
Have you been eating yet, Keegan?
Hey, your seat at the table, the system, there's different ways of doing it. There's a life skill. What is it called? I can't remember off the top of my head. There's 2 different ways you can do your stats as a player. And one of them is developing your whole basic. Yeah, that's 1st edition and 2nd edition. Yeah. And with the 4th edition, you have 2 different ways of developing your characters. One is the life skills, where it starts you out at a certain age, and then you go up the age bracket, and your skills and it gives you more ideas for your background story. Or there's the old-fashioned way, and you randomly you roll up your skills, and there's the 9 different things for characters: the spook, the officer, the operator, the mechanic, the medic, the gunner, the kid, the civilian, and the grunt. And
that's what we did. We did the archetypes.
We did the archetypes?
Yep.
Yeah, that's that. Sometimes when you're starting out a role-playing game, that's the best way to do it. And then just roll up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to go through their whole childhood and everything else. I'm like, that's a whole lot of backstory.
Yes, because I've done it, and it can get really interesting. Because I've had one character who ended up being a spook, but he was a double agent, so he was working against the group the entire campaign. Did
you know that?
Yes, as the GM, I knew that.
Okay, I didn't know if you did it from you too, or
yeah, like I was saying to everybody, Keegan, you don't need to know all the rules. The players, they should know the rules that pertain to their character, and if you're just there to move and guide the story, and you're there to do the NPCs, you're there to do map movement, you're there to do if you're using a map, you're describing the area where they are. You're describing, like in the scenario that you guys just did, you're describing how the tents are set up. You're describing the sounds. You're describing the sights. That's
so like the narration part.
You're the narrator. That's exactly what you are, and you're trying to expand and move the story. They're telling the story. They're saying what they're doing. Like with my players, I'm a jerk. If the player is more than 20 meters away from another player and they're trying to be sneaky, I don't let them talk to each other. I say, you got to use hand signals, because you wouldn't be talking to the guy, right? You wouldn't be going, hey, go that way, when you're trying to be sneaky. So I make my players look at each other and do hand signals as to what they're trying to do. You know, like if they're trying to sneak into a base and they're like 20, 30 meters away from each other, they're using hand signals, and they're going, hey, I'm going that way, pointing that way. And then if there's somebody coming out, they're going like this, putting up their hands to stop them. And then they're going, move that way, and they're pointing to a different direction. I make it feel immersive. So if they're more than 20 meters away, they're not going to be yelling at each other unless they're in combat. Then they could be doing it like, go that way, that kind of thing. I get the players to get into their roles and talk to them like talk to the other players like they're actually in a movie or in a book, like how they would talk to each other. That's why I have and yes, I make it fog of war a big thing in my
RPG. Say he bring the fog of war, but we actually have to change how we show it for next time, because
go ahead.
Yep, the way that map works, I have made fog.
Yes.
And it's going to be a little dark. They have set how far they can see with their flashlights, and it will only allow things to show up when their flashlight actually hits it. So they will not know from their end what's going on at all.
Yeah, like your seat at the table, he just made a good point, and exactly what I'm trying to explain is each player is his character, whereas the GM plays the narrator, pretty much everything else, the NPCs, everything like that. You've got your hands full. That's why I tell my players they need to know the basics of the rules for their character. Like if they're good, like Ashley's ringing up the kill score with that sniper rifle. Well, she's good with that. She should stay out of close range and hang back and use that skill. Mutt, he had a shotgun. I said to him, you need to get really close. Because shotguns, pump action shotguns, it's the 2 hex range.
Yep.
If you want, like I've one of my things that I tell players right before we start, because not everybody knows about weapons and stuff like that, is keep your weapons to what you're kind of good at. If you're good in close range, in close combat, a shotgun might be a good thing. But I tell most players, get an assault rifle, get your standard M16, get your standard AK of some type. Okay, because for one, there's ammo scarcities. Like with that 50 caliber Barrett gun, or I think that's what Ashley's using.
Nope.
It was what is it? Talking about Ashley's sniper rifle?
Is it an M21?
It's an M82, I thought.
It's the M82.
Is it in the US list?
Yeah, it's an M82A1.
Oh, it's a 50 caliber Barrett. It's a 50 caliber Barrett gun. It's a 50 cal round.
Yep.
So it's a big round. I speak from experience because that's what I used to sit behind an M2. Okay, so the 50 rounds are kind of scarce, but not completely. You can still find them in the game. So, but there's certain rifles. They've got a round that's really strange. That round is a little harder to find. Okay, so I tell people, if you're gonna get a rifle and an M16, anything 7.62 or 5.56 or whatever AK round you're using, get those because they have decent range. They're more reliable because there is reliability in the game, right? Because guns and stuff can wear out, they can break. That's another one of the things that Keegan, you're in charge of, is if they keep on shooting, like just popping off rounds with their rifle could jam. Something else could happen to it. So you got to watch.
Well, if Ashley keeps having too many one-hit kills, it may the end of that barrel may just go boom.
It's pretty scary with that thing. Yeah.
You can't really do that when Keegan went into terms by the dice. It's not like I'm saying I'm going to headshot him and get one-shot kill.
Yeah. And like if you're in Eastern Europe, that's like exactly what your seat at the table is telling you. If you're out east, you're going to find Soviet Warsaw Pact ammo more common. Okay. So that's some of the things that Keegan, if you're the GM and you're looking at scarcity, like I've had players where they couldn't find food and they couldn't find any deer to kill or anything like that. They ate rats. And I had a player that was so upset with that I had to come up with that contract, of, hey, this could happen in the game, kind of thing. Are you okay with this? And I had one player that just wasn't okay with almost anything because they're so used to playing a fantasy game, right? Like a fantasy role-playing game, which is completely different. This is more modern, semi-realistic, right? So, yeah, they didn't fill out any of it, and I said, "Yeah, sorry, but we're playing this way."
Gotta have it filled out.
Yeah, so you kind of should know it's the apocalypse. People eat rats and stuff,
World War I, talk about they ate a lot of rats in them trenches.
Yes,
man.
they did.
They did. Them trenches were infested, and the rats were also eating the soldiers, but they sure did make use of them for food source.
Yeah, and mules as well. The Canadian military in the First World War ate a lot of mules, and when they'd get dysentery, they'd call it the trots because they were eating mules. Yeah.
Telemachus says, boiled rats.
Yeah, boiled rats.
Boiled rats. Throw a little bit of cabbage in there and some carrots.
Yeah, you're fine.
Salt and
onion,
pepper, a little Tabasco.
The boiled rat Reubens.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to you guys, and it'll make the game better for you, is just kind of look at the rule books. You guys all have rule books, I'm guessing, and just look at rules that pertain to your character, and taking a basic read of the entire book. That's great. That's a good idea, but there's little paper tab things you can get that you can put in the edge of the book, just or even on your character sheet. Write down I need to know how to do this. It's on page blah blah blah, and then you have it on your character page. Then you know where it is, right? And you can flip to it right away. Look at it. Oh, refer to this. Okay, so I know how to do it, and then you roll for it, and then Keegan keeps moving the story along. Because Keegan as the GM. GMs really do have their hands full trying to keep everything on track and moving, and you don't want things to bog down in arguments, right? So you would just go, hey, this is how it's happening. This is what happened. If you guys want to talk about it after the game's over, then you talk about it after the game's over, right? But keeping the story moving makes the game more enjoyable. Okay.
Yeah, because we did. I felt like we didn't move on near fast enough last round.
I got that impression that all of you felt that way, and I would just get up, keep moving the story along, and then you talk about it afterwards. And sometimes with GMs, you just come to them afterwards and you go, "Hey, this is how the rule works. I think I should have done this. What do you think?" And you discuss it. That's the best way. Because if you get, I hate when there's some players that it's always the letter of the law. And it's like, well, as a GM, I have to move the story along. So you want to find a G11. Yeah, that MO is hard to find, mutt. But I would just keep moving the story along, and with your players, they learn the rules more and more as you play. The game will get better and better as you play. It starts out pretty rough, especially if you don't know if you've never played an RPG. But if you keep making the story fun or moving along, you're good. You're good to go. Like I've had players that have played with me. I think one of my players has played with me for over 15 years. And
on the same campaign?
Well, that was a zombie campaign we were running, using the Twilight 2000 second edition or first edition. I think we used the second edition rules because everybody could find them a lot easier. But we played a zombie apocalypse game using those rules. And then fourth edition came out, and since 2021, I think I got it in 2022. It showed up from Kickstarter, but I've used it for all kinds of different games, especially for modern role playing. Like I've had okay, there's a module that just came out. It's called the Black Madonna. Okay. It was one of the original modules. The guy that wrote it back in the 80s, Frank Frey, who's a friend of mine, Frank got together with Modiphius to rewrite and do the Black Madonna again. Now it's a box set, and I've got it behind me. And some of the people like the new module, and some people don't. I like it. It's a little bit different than the original, and I think that's a key thing. It has some throwbacks to the original, but it's different. It's because you don't want it being exactly the same. You want some differences. They've done a book module for rivercraft and boats and ships and stuff like that. Yeah, that is based more on the Pirates of the Vishla, which is another module from the original box, but it expands on it. Because in the original, it was just you started out in Eastern Poland. With the new version, you can start in Sweden. And I've known a couple people that have done the Swedish campaign, and it was a lot of fun, they said. But my suggestion to you guys is have fun. Players learn the rules that pertain to their character, and if you learn a new skill set or you improve a new skill set, learn the rules for those. Because as players, all you're telling is the story as that character. Okay, and work on your characters in the way that, like when you do the life skill way of doing a character, you develop things about your character's background. Okay. But because you guys did it the old-fashioned way, work on those backgrounds yourself. As like, Greg, are you in the U.S. Army, or what kind of, like, when you did your character?
I believe that's what my character is. Yes.
What is your character? Does he have a name?
Hold on a second.
Doc.
We just filled these out and just did our run through them. So I just was going by Doc as the name that I picked. So you have to pick from different things too, like your morale code and appearance and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm American military.
Yeah, you're American military. Yep. So what you want to do is on the back of your character sheet or on another piece of paper is write down what you look like. How tall are you? Where were you born? You come up with background stories, because some things in your background that you explain to your Boomer McGee, yeah, I like that, can add to the story. Like if in your civilian life you were you worked at Walmart in the automotive area, well, you might know some stuff about mechanics, and that could explain why you know a little bit about mechanics, stuff like that. With Ashley's character, she's like damn good with the sniper rifle. Well, maybe her background is she grew up in the South or something where they shoot a lot, Texas or something. Okay, and maybe she speaks Spanish because she grew up in Texas. Because those skills could come in handy somewhere. I don't know where, but the story could lead to that.
Well,
and she's a good shot. Yeah, she's a good shot because her dad was ex-special forces or something and taught her how to shoot. Or, you come up with story background that adds to the game. It might not be obvious at the time, but something could come up during the game that expands on certain things. Backstories, like, they could be really important, or they could just be minor things. You know, Frost and Fist's Sarge Glenn Walker. He a Texas Ranger too. But you know, and with I was talking about the guy that was in my group who was a spook, and he was a double agent. He had quite the background story of where he grew up and stuff that the other players just didn't figure it out. And they got all the way to the end of the campaign. Then they found it out after the game was over. That's how good the background story was. You know?
Yeah, so, we're here in Iowa, so
yeah, you know, hey, yeah. that's another thing you could do. If you live somewhere, you could be Greg from Iowa, and then make a background story based on your life, and then put in the military part, and because that play what you know sometimes is helpful, right? I've had players play themselves in role play games, but and then change things, you know, how they got into the military and stuff like that. Like I said, and if you are a new player and you don't know anything about military stuff, I usually tell the players, play one of the other archetypes. Play the civilian. Play the kid. You know, play the spook. You want to be James Bond? Play the spook. You know, and then you do not have to concentrate on knowing that knowledge. You could learn other knowledge. You can make it up. You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I would seriously just have fun with it. My suggestion is Keegan learn what's in the player or the GM's manual. You know, how to make the encounters, all that kind of stuff. Those are important.
Minnie, you better play the cook. You better start cooking, because it's starting to look like they're about to start starving if they're out eating all MREs.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. So I'll answer your seat. We said suburb of Cedar Rapids. So actually, Hiawatha is right next to Cedar Rapids. So you cross the street at Cedar Rapids. So, yeah, being in Iowa, people are pretty much, you could take and shut the power off, and they'll just go get their own food. You know what I mean? So whereas I've run across other people who are like, because I used to live in California, and they're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? So it does. Your background, I could see where it make a difference in what you're doing.
But so I see how though if you play a civilian and you're not military, how you can get more into it.
You also, it didn't give us very much though either. Like it has a thing on here for what branch of the military. I guess I should have looked at it better. So I'm a Marine. So
I would suggest, guys. I would suggest the next time you play on the channel is work on your characters. Like, go, hey, Ashley, what kind of character are you? You're this. Hey, let's try to. You develop the background story beforehand, and you explain to all the characters, this is who I am. Like, I see Mutt. His name is Boomer McGee, and he's a farmer, and he's a cook apparently. Okay, so expand on that. Write it down on a piece of paper, and just go from there. And then each of you do it, and then everybody in the group knows who they're playing with, right? Hey, I'm Boomer McGee. Hey, and during the game, you call Mutt Boomer McGee. You refer to him by the character's name, and that's how you communicate. That gets your story going. I know people that do fantasy RPGs. And they get right into it. They actually dress up and stuff.
They ain't going that far.
Yeah, I know.
I will not be giving you bonus points if you dress up.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, and you know, Boomer McGee here, maybe he has an accent. So maybe Mutt talks in an accent, okay? And maybe Ashley talks in an accent because she's from Texas, you know. You try to stay in kind of a character. I wouldn't expect you to dress up or anything like that, but if you stay in, it's like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that would be, yeah. He rides a bull too. But yeah, staying in character. And like I said, if the GM thinks you're too far away from each other and you're trying to be sneaky and quiet, but you're talking in a normal voice to each other, the GM goes, okay, you just got heard. Somebody might be coming around the corner, you know, that kind of thing. It leads to the game being more fun. Like when I was in the military, we did role playing to a certain degree as a skill set for how to devise plans, how to you know, do things. You know, like we would role play. A lot of major corporations use role playing in seminars and stuff as well. So you want to know how you're going to deal with something. So get into character, right? So that's all I can say is get into character, learn your rules. That goes for Keegan too. You know, learn what you need as a GM out of that book, and just play what's in the core box for right now, and then you can expand on it, right? And like I saw your seat at the table, like with first edition and second edition, a good chunk of the game was trying to get from Eastern Europe to the coast in Germany or France. I think it was just Germany back then. And you were trying to get back to the United States if you were an American, right? And then there were modules for the United States. There were some really cool modules for the United States.
Yeah, I think
but if
there's
you
some books that came out for 4th edition for
oh yeah, there's quite a few.
Urban, for urban battles in the United States, and then there's urban warfare, and then there's something else.
Then there's Hostile Waters, and then the Black Madonna are the 3 that are out right now.
Okay.
And there's a lot on was it RPG Vault? There's a Modifius has given permission to players to write their own modules and things like that. And as long as they use the permission file on that RPG Vault, they can sell them on there. And there's some really good ones that expand on rules or scenarios. I've got one friend who wrote 3 modules that have a helicopter involved in it. And in the original modules from the first edition, there was a book with a Russian helicopter in it. And so he kind of used that to expand on it for 4th edition. So I would just use what's in the core books and core box until you learn how to, you know, you learn more about the rules and stuff like that. If you've got one player that's good with explosives, tell that player, learn the explosives. How can you use them? How can you make stuff? You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a good system. And you guys should just free flow, you know, ideas as well. You know, if you've got ideas between the players, hey, what are we going to do? Because I know in the front of the player's manual, it gives you more options than the first edition in that what you would do. Because in the first one, it kind of directed you in the way you're trying to get back to the United States because it made the conclusion that you were all Americans. Okay. But sometimes in a game, you're not all Americans. I've had games where one of the players was Polish, and he was and he wanted help saving his village and stuff. And then all the players decided to stay in Poland and build this up this fortress kind of like village and farm and all this other stuff and keep, you know, they were base building. That's basically what they were doing because that's what they wanted to do.
4th edition has that in the back.
Yeah,
you can do a whole build a home base.
Yeah, because I know with the game, it gives you more options in what you're going to do, and it gives you your how it says when you're gaining experience, did you do something lawful, like good or things like that. That builds on your character creation and your character building, because if you're doing some pretty evil stuff, your character, you could work that into you as the GM, work that into the game. Hey, this guy's an ass. How can I work this into the game? And then you try to figure out things that you could do to make him, annoying or whatever,
Don't think about it, Keegan.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I already thought about. I had already been thinking about it because I have my own document, like what's going on, and trying to figure out how to message you guys.
I would the next at the beginning of the next scenario or whatever you're going to run, have the characters say who they are. Hey, I'm Boomer McGee. I'm from so and so, whatever state or whatever country, and then just go from that, explaining. And this is what I kind of look like. If you want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger looking, well, then you describe how you look. If you want to be how you look right now as an actual person, you describe how you look. But I would do those things and then expand on, like, I know you guys captured some weapons or found some weapons as well. Take a look at what weapons are there. Like with Mutt, is he good at close combat, or so should he have a shotgun? Well, then maybe he should have a shotgun.
Well,
pistol.
Well, I'm gonna say something, guys. Pointing it out to Greg, Mythos and Brian. I want you to, while you're in the chat, to think about the last game and think about what might have happened during the game that you forgot about.
See, this is the important. He's getting the job. This is what he's supposed to do.
Because
he's not supposed to give you the answers.
Off and left something behind.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Keegan, you're not there to give them all the answers. They're supposed to figure that out, and you're doing the exact right job. You make them figure it out. You make them talk.
No, Boomer, you're not far enough behind. I'll say that much. You're already in the truck.
You're looking for tacos.
Tacos. Boomer would be good in close combat. If someone tried to take his food, he's going to win. He has a skill set.
You need to get a machete.
A machete.
Let's not give him any weapons, please.
This game, though, like I said, it kind of structures you on how to set your character.
Well, no, you build the character. It just gives you random things that you use to build that character. If the character doesn't know how to drive, well, then why doesn't he know how to drive? Well, maybe he didn't learn how to drive as a kid, or the military. If he's in the military didn't teach him.
Why Ashley can't drive?
What's that?
Ashley's already crashed the truck once.
Well, doesn't mean she'll crash it again, so she should get a discount on her insurance. Ashley's over here. You want me to finish building your...
I've glued every single one of these pieces, make him look like he's shooting at the sky. Go ahead.
No, don't do that.
That
ahead. Would be terrible. She bought me that in Victor Warsuit. I don't want him just aiming up at the sky. Well, I mean, that would be a good idea to kind of introduce. I agree with you on that there, Wag. Maybe when we start the next one, we'll just kind of introduce ourselves and,
Yeah, what you need to do is explain yourself and your fist, your seat at the table. He's exactly right, and a good GM listens to the players and the characters, because they will hand him, far more information to lead they're leading the story. And you as the GM can build on that, and you as the GM describe things better. Like, hey, you're in a valley, there's trees to your left, there's trees to your right, but there's a break in the woods 100 meters to the front, that kind of thing. You're describing things. Yeah. Hey, who had the 50 cal ammo? Yeah. And at the end of a game, Keegan, your players, like, I don't know if you keep the character sheets or the players each keep the character sheets.
They all have their own character sheets.
Okay. What you might want to do also is talk to them about their character sheets at the end. Watching ammo, watching food. Okay? Because they might not be watching their ammo. They might not be watching their food. So they could run out of food and ammo and just not even realize it. Okay? So bad things happen at those points, right? So that way you can expand on the story in that, hey, Boomer there just ran out of shotgun ammo. He's in trouble. He's getting shot at, but has no ammo. Stuff like that. The players are also responsible for that too. And I've had players where they're kind of cheating and they're not watching their ammo and they're just shooting off ammo, and then I make them pay for it. Somehow I make them pay for it. And you got to watch.
Do you make them actually pay for it? Like, yeah, you need
I do something like at the end or something, or during the play, and I go, hey, 2 wild dogs came out of the bushes. You've got no ammo. What are you going to do? And then we figure out that's bad. 2 wild dogs coming out of the bushes and you have no ammo. And then the guy didn't even have a knife. He was hitting him with his rifle. And then at the end of the thing, what happened to your rifle? You survived all this, but you were hitting things with it. Did it get damaged? Sure enough, his rifle got damaged. So those are kinds of things, if your players are kind of being shifty, you can do in the game. So it expands the story and the story keeps going, but they realize, hey, I really need to pay attention to my ammo and not be a jerk. That's things you can do. Like I'm pretty brutal with some of my players. They try to get away with things, and I'm like, no, you're supposed to count your ammo. It's not the movies where you have unlimited ammo. This is the apocalypse. Ammo is important. You can
hold on. This isn't Rambo.
Yeah, you'll find ways. Like it'll just be like, hey, you need to smarten up, but this is what I'm going to do to you. Okay. 2 dogs just ran out of the bushes. They're attacking you. You have no ammo. What do you do? And then the story expands from that. So with role playing, you can pretty much do anything you want. But, think about the style of play you want to play. If you want to play Hollywood movie style with Twilight 2000, you can do that. If you want to play the dark apocalypse like Twilight 2000 is and has been for a long time, make it dark. Make it go. Make people think. Make people go, hey, how am I going to fix this radiator that's got a hole in it? Well, maybe they'll go on Google and figure out that you can use epoxy, or there's a way to fix it temporarily with sand and some other things that you might have access to. So it builds on the story. They're going, hey, my guy knows how to fix this temporarily. This is what he's going to do. And then you make the roll after you've explained it, right? You just don't go, hey, I'm going to try to fix it, but I don't know how I'm going to fix it. Try to think about how you're going to fix things. Like if you got a radio and you need to switch out a battery, Okay, I'm going to switch out the battery. This is what's going to go in here. Blah blah blah. I've had people describe things as to what they're doing.
So, like, the more detailed and immersive they get, the better the game will go.
If you don't know
Or not
a lot
more
about the
detailed, but like, yeah.
you want the player to describe to you and to the group what they're doing. Yeah, for a toy sword. That would, you know what? You're gonna find things that you think are totally useless in the game, but that sword probably gives you a trade value.
Yeah.
And that trade value gets you something
$5.
else. You know,
$5. That's what a sword's worth. $5.
yeah, exactly. And everything you can get that you can trade off gets you something to survive another day. And that's what the game's about. It's surviving the day. You know, I would assume that almost everything I think has a trade value. Some things have more trade value than others. I know they give it as a cash amount because that's how they used to do it in the old system, because it was just easier for people to wrap their brains around. But I tell my players it's trade value. What can you trade it for in value? Yeah. But yeah, I would just work on your characters, guys. Expand on who they are, what they do. Look at your stats. If you're a medic, look at your stats. How can I improve being a medic? How can I improve being a driver? Because driving is important. Like I said, you don't want to be walking. Mechanics is important because you don't want broken down vehicles. You kind of want to have one specialty that you really work on, and then some minor stuff that you can help the other players if they fail a roll or something like that. But those are my suggestions to you guys. Is just have fun, build up your characters, talk like your characters, like speak as your characters. And you know, with Keegan being the NPCs, he speaks like those characters. Okay, so if you have some kind of Russian that's talking to you, or Polish guy, or whatever, speak to the characters in your game like you've got broken English. So don't use perfect English. Break it up and make it, you know, use the wrong word occasionally. It gets just people into the game more, I find, because they get annoyed. What the hell are you trying to say to us? You know, that gets them more into the game, you know? So all I can say is just have fun. Develop your characters. Keegan, you know, learn what's in the GM's manual, and players learn what's in the player's manual. And like I said, you do not have to learn everything. You just have to learn what pertains to you. If you learn more rules as you go, that's better. That's even better. It makes the game even better. But just have fun. That's the important part. And don't bog down. Like when I began this conversation with you guys, I said, don't play it like a board game, and don't play it like a miniatures game, because basically you're telling a story. You're telling you guys are building the story, and you use the maps and tokens like you guys are using just to enhance the experience. Yeah, and just kind of as Keegan's describing the area, you know, look at the map. Oh, okay, I see what he's talking about, you know. But Keegan also has to do, I find this, not just describing the visual, describe the sounds. What are you hearing? Are you hearing any explosions, gunfire in the distance, breaking branches, that kind of stuff? Because those are important too to the experience. Like I have, like we're redoing our virtual tabletop. Like I have a 32-inch screen television laying flat in the middle of our table that I put the maps on for players that are local. And then I move the tokens because I have Foundry, the program Foundry, and I actually have the Twilight 2000 modules for that. And my players will either move their token. Well, we usually, when we first started, we used miniatures on the TV screen. Now I use tokens because some of our players are not local. And so that way I can put it on the screen and they can see it where they are. And we just have it so that it's set up so everybody's heard. But I would not, Keegan, I wouldn't let people, if they're trying to be sneaky, try to get them in character and whisper. If their person's within, or if they're too far away, use hand signals, and actually use hand signals at the table or through the screen on the television or the computer screen. And, you know, it's like charades.
Well, this is why we want to kind of get some pointers from you guys, because
you guys
having done it, we're not quite sure what all you can and can't do. And but yeah, we could like introduce ourselves and our characters. I mean, I think for I think for most of us.
And Greg, have you ever used any of the AI art programs?
No.
Or Keegan or anybody. What you could do is, I've had my players go on, what was the one we used? Leonardo, because it was free, and describe how their character looked in a prompt. And then it gave them pictures. And then they would expand and choose, you know, like adjust the pictures and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then you would have a picture of your character. And what we do is we take a headshot and we place those on the tokens that we use in Foundry, so we know what each character looks like.
Oh, that'd be way nice, because right now all the characters look just like the NPCs.
Yeah. So I would, it's free, you know, you can do it. You can put it in the software. Like, I know there's one guy on RPG Vault that actually sells Twilight 2000 tokens that you can use in I think almost any of the virtual tabletops. And I think he charges like $10, and it's like NPCs, animals, all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
and
wow.
what you could do is, because right now, like with COVID, we stopped totally playing in person, and we just played online. And we're trying to get back to playing in person, with some of our players being in other countries. We play with them. We include them in the game too, but we're trying to get back to like face to face. But it's hard. And if you guys, and Keegan, here's another problem that comes up with game masters. Somebody might get sick. Somebody might have a family emergency, and they can't play that night. Okay, coming up with solutions as to why the player's not there. There's some simple things you can do. You can do what I call flashback scenarios for the night. So saying that, okay, we're doing 3 months earlier, and the player's not there for the night. He's not in the group at that point, right? So you're doing a flashback with the 3 players or 4 players that you have left, so that they have something to do that night, but it might lead to something else, right? So you could have a flashback that leads back to getting some kind of important piece of gear that 3 months ahead of time, hey, we've got this, we can now fix this, you know, or something like that. You know, you build into that kind of storyline. So okay. I usually do flashbacks where I go, okay, this like we play Star Wars Legion. This is a different kind of example, but it's same idea. And one of our players plays clones for the Republic, and the other players play rebels and Imperials and stuff. And how do you fit that in there? Well, what we did is we've got a rebel player, and we used him as some kind of mercenary group, and we fought the clones, and it was just a flashback, right? So you kind of have to go, hey, what can I do? He's not here, but we want to play. So the idea is to come up with some way of playing the game, or he's off on a different mission for that night. As simple as that. He's trying to find some ammo for his gun or something, so he's at the market, so he's not there for that game. That could be as simple as that. But you have to, and then you can also build on the fact that he wasn't there for last week's game in the following week's game, and go, hey, we could do some kind of storyline that he's back, but people are following him, or stuff like that. Because players not showing up for games happens. And I know with my kid, it happens all the time where they're DMing a game and one player doesn't show up. And so they all cancel and they all feel terrible about it. And I said, well, why don't you do this? He's off doing something else, or do a one-off, or do a flashback, or something like that. And my kid hadn't even thought about that. I said, because you all want to have fun, and you don't want to all show up and then we can't play because one person didn't show up. Yeah, yeah, exactly what your seat at the table said. It also works when saying half the group doesn't come, the other half are on some mini mission. Exactly. Because you always, as your GM, you want people to play games and have fun, right? You want to have fun, destroying them. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, but you want to have fun. It's the important part. Yeah, exactly. Your seat at the table says if you're worried about XP, just don't award any.
I'm not worried about XP because they only get XP one of like 5 ways.
Yeah, that's one of the changes. Yeah.
So there's one of 5 ways to get it, and if you don't do those, and if you can't say yes to all 5 of those answers, you get like no XP.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things I do like about that. The change is kind of cool. And it's there's you as the GM can do a lot of things, and you guys as players can do a lot of things that have fun and make the story fun and exciting, and and because you're recording this, you can always go back if you forgot about something. You go back and you're in the, hey, what episode was that? Hey, go back and if you number them, that's even better.
We can start numbering them, Keegan.
But I would suggest work on your characters so you guys can explain who you are as a character to everybody. That includes Keegan, and that way he can, oh, okay, you're this. Oh, okay, that could be cool in the story. And Keegan, the card system, I don't know if you got a card deck or you just have the book.
I do. So I got it came with the encounter cards.
Okay, good.
And the initiative cards.
Okay, those are great. I would use those. Those really help as a GM. They make GMing a lot easier.
Well, that's actually how we came across the bastards they just killed off.
Yeah.
Because they had... So we recorded our first game. And that one was really slow. But they had come across the murderous bastards. And that was a card that had come up.
Okay.
So
yeah. I find that if you can explain what your character is, what they do, It gives the GM a lot of things to work with as well. And you guys get to know who your characters are, what they know, what they can do, and then you learn from that and you go, hey, maybe the close combat guy shouldn't be all the way at the back. Maybe the sniper should be all the way at the back, or, those kind of things. You develop skills to know who should be in the driver's seat of a truck, who should be in behind the 50 cal in the turret, that kind of stuff. If the medic is there, if you've got a medic, keep him safe because he's going to keep you healthy and alive, that kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, because once the NPCs figure out that Greg's a medic, they will probably go after him.
They probably would,
And they will probably try to kidnap or kill him.
Yeah. So, yeah, the best things are have fun, learn your characters, learn your basic rules for your character. That makes the GM's job easier. It makes your time as a player fun and easier. Because if one of my players, because they have a problem with the letters representing dice, they have a little chart that they sit beside them that tells them what letter represents which dice, because they always forget. Things like aids, like game aids, can help you as a player too. Like if you've got your character sheet and on the back of it, driving, page such and such, shooting, page such and such. So that way you can quickly look if you forget something.
That would work.
Make your games easier for yourself. Player aids are important. Yeah. But anyways, guys, it is 4:00 my time, and I have to run.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Walkabout, for coming on and giving us some ideas.
Definitely a thank you, because I felt like I did horrible as a GM that game, because I'm like, okay, like I was reading through, I was like, well, we should have gone through, according to the book, we should have gone through a whole day already. We went through a shift.
Yeah, you just have to keep the game moving, and you're learning. Every game will get better. Just keep going. And if you've got a situation where something seems to be bogging down for you that's slowing the story down, try to develop something to move the story along. Get things going again, Okay. And with, like I said, with discussions at the table, speak in character like you're talking to the characters, like you're on the map, you're in front of them. If you can't see them, don't talk to them, because you can't talk to them, right? In the game, right? So if one player is in a building and the other three players are outside the building, those three players outside the building can talk to each other, but they can't talk to the other guy because he's in the building, right? Kind of work that kind of into the story, because you will find that it makes things interesting, sometimes difficult, but more, I guess, realistic, if you want to call it that. Okay. I think, Keegan, you did a pretty good job for your first time. I really do, because at points you just went, nope, this is what we're going to do. Like with the vehicle, you did the right thing by saying, okay, it's fixed. Let's go. Because you moved the story along.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to make you walk 4 shifts to stumble upon a dead house. Like I couldn't do that early in the game. Make you have to deal with that much death already. Like, yeah, no, not this early in the game.
Yeah, I think you did a good job. I think all of you did a pretty good job. Especially after Greg told me you guys had never played like a role-playing game.
Yeah,
no. This is our first one ever.
Because he just wanted to be the one up running the game. So I'm glad you guys told him, you and your seat at the table, because we told Keegan not to worry about how you're doing. You just did it. You just started. So you've never done that before in your entire life. So you can't expect it to be perfect. Just like we're not going to be able to play the game at any level like you guys, because we're just now starting. So I'd be more concentrated on just getting it right, relaxing, and like both of these guys, your seat and Mike says, just move it along, keep going. And I think that's a good idea. We can introduce ourselves next time, because it's going to be every other Thursday, isn't it, Keegan? So
and speaking in character, I like Walkabout's idea. The speaking in character will be mandatory.
There you go. So if you're
don't
Polish, speak in broken English.
Oh, Keegan, you messed up by giving me this character sheet, because I can very, very talk good in customer service.
Great.
I mean, I could have really done this as a different nationality or something, but no. So
that's why you need to develop where your character's from. Yeah.
So in the game, you're just not going to refer to me as Doc, because in real life, you never yell Doc, because that's who they're waiting to stand up and start running. That's the guy they take out.
Yeah.
You never yell medic or Doc.
Oh, here's something else for players. For players, if you've got some kind of helmet, body armor, make sure that you know which one it is, because each is different. Okay? So I've had players using having a steel helmet, but they're using Kevlar helmet rules. Okay? They're two different things. So body armor, if you've got it, or helmets, that kind of stuff, make sure you're using the right stats, because you don't want to take a hit to the head and then find out you had a different kind of helmet, kind of thing. Because I've had so many players get hit in the head, and then they're going, oh, I got this armor, and then they've got a steel helmet. And nope, it's not bulletproof. It's fragmentation, So
all he said was hit in the head, and I could just think of the kids' video. The video the kids loved where it's boots to the head.
Yeah.
That was.
Hey, Keegan, if somewhere down the line you come up with an NPC and needed somebody to play, call me. I'll jump on. I'll cause shit.
Heck, you can just join in too with another character if you want.
I might. We'll see.
We might be able to pick him up
between you, and then I think your seat wants to join.
We can always find them, like in a town, because we're going to be scrounging for food and gear and stuff. So we might find them. You could make up a storyline.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I got to run.
All right. Thank you, Walkabout. We appreciate it, man.
No problem. Anytime. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later.
Mitos has got a.
What? Oh, peace.
Mitos just sent me the character that Walkabout described, and
let's put a bounty on Wag. Yeah, okay.
And he's not even in the game, and Brian's gonna put a bounty on him. That's hysterical.
Oh, geez.
He's gonna send you some profile like Boomer is some, athletic looking Zeus-like character. You know, pretty and all that. I'm just waiting to see.
Oh no, I know what Boomer looks like too already. So he's already sent me a picture. I know what Boomer looks like.
Oh no. Okay, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Walkabout. Have a good evening, sir.
You too.
Bye.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys play in the background. My sister showed up a little bit ago. Now I'm gonna enjoy some time with her. So
we'll probably go ahead and wrap it up here, because it's been a couple hours. We gotta still get our dinner and stuff.
And I gotta get some sleep because I start my 14s again.
Yeah, Ashley starts those 14-hour shifts starting tonight at midnight to 2 p.m. during the day. So she's got to sleep a little bit before she goes to work. Oh. But your seat at the table. You're welcome in our pop on in whenever. We always do this on Sundays, 4 p.m. Central. This hangout. And real quick, Keegan, when's the next Thursday we're going to do?
Not this Thursday.
Not this Thursday, but the following one.
That'd be 2 weeks.
So every Thursday that we have the that we have the girls.
So not next Thursday.
Not this upcoming Thursday.
Not
but
this.
The following.
Not the one.
It'll
coming
be
up.
after the 1st.
The Thursdays after our dinners with them is what your daughter says.
So, okay, but not next. So it wouldn't be next Thursday
No.
then. Okay, gotcha. And Nagawa, thank you for hanging out, sir. We appreciate that too. And Mitos, you were a great asset also to our game. So you're always very positive and helpful, and we appreciate it. And Mini Warmup, we appreciate you too. So we appreciate all you guys.
There you go. There's the date.
November 7th. There you go. And that would be on a Thursday, roughly about 8 p.m. Central. So
maybe we could try
you'll
to
see
get
at the
earlier.
table. You will see us come on approximately about that time. So, but we will let you guys go. Thank you all for being here. Keegan, go visit the family. And we will catch you guys all next Sunday. All right? So take care, everybody. Have a great night. We really do appreciate you guys showing up. And we really do. So take care, you guys. And we're out.